All right, what's going on, peeps? Let's get into Vietnam because I was reading some, a couple articles from last month that I found really interesting, and it kind of lends credibility to something I was talking about Vietnam long term. But anyways, let's get into a couple of things and get them out of the way. First and foremost, I got to get the disclaimer. Sorry about it, but I'm not an attorney, a tax advisor, or a financial advisor. Please consult with real professionals. The following is my opinion and my opinion only based on my own research. I will share the information I find with you and will encourage you to read and listen to the information so that you could form your own opinion. All right, you guys? So, what else? Oh, yes, please, if you haven't already, please like and share the videos if you like the content. It helps just the channel to grow, and I do appreciate it. And I told you guys before that I've moved from 58% of the people watching my videos as non-subscribers down to 41, and would please encourage you to please subscribe. Okay, so if you don't mind, subscribe to the channel because it does help out the channel. Now, having said that, I do want to get something kind of out of the way. A couple of things. It has been brought to my attention by multiple people now who have been buying currencies from Travelex. Now, I don't buy currencies from them and I don't deal with them, but I do know that people do tend to buy currencies from Travelex. There has been a multitude of people complaining that their information has been hacked. Somebody hacked into this company and their information was taken. So having said that, all this is just a warning. I'm just letting you know what's being reported to me in case you intend on buying from Travelex whatsoever. I don't have a way to verify that or validate it other than the fact that people are saying to me, hey, let other people know. So I do, just because I want you guys to be careful when you're buying currencies from certain entities. You just want to be careful about the company. Do your research into them. Make sure that the company that you're dealing with is legit and has a good history to them. So Travelex is a company that for some reason has been blipping up a lot on my radar as them having trouble. So, okay, you guys, so just be careful. I have not heard anything official about this, but at the same time, I just wanted to make sure that I share this with you just in case. Okay? So now having gotten that out of the way, I did a video yesterday when I showed you guys on another Forex live channel in which the rate for the Iraqi dinar and the Vietnam dong had looked like it had changed. And I'm not sure why on this one website that it showed that it had changed, but I shared a video with people and asking you guys for your input. So again, I just want to just thank individuals because people are coming forward, explaining to me what I was looking at and how it could be wrong. So now, having gotten that out of the way, let me just say this. If a lot of you guys share a lot of information with me, some of it I can explain away, while most of it I can explain away, but there are some things from time to time that will come across my attention where I don't understand it or I don't know why it's showing you something that is contrary to what we see. So what I'll do is there's some people out there that are very knowledgeable, so I'll share it on the video and ask for you guys' input, and you guys are pretty good about responding to that. So I'm grateful. I want to thank everybody for responding about that Forex Live website that was showing some interesting rates for both the Vietnam Dong and IQD. So there's a lot of great explanations, but what I've come to the conclusion is this. Even if there is a website that is showing you information, is showing you a rate change, I think the right thing to do, just so that we don't get people's hopes up and mislead people, is this. We need to talk about it when it's on every site, and we know for a fact that the rate change has taken place. Okay, because I was just curious about that website and why it would show different rates compared to the rest of us. And for a strange reason, I was thinking, I wonder if it's showing a different rate change for another country versus what we know. But, anyways, I did get a lot of explanations, and so I appreciate it. So thank you. I appreciate when you guys are interacting with me and as well as the group. A quick reminder, everybody, that we do have a Facebook group with the same name as the YouTube channel, Pimpy's Investment Chat. I will leave a link in the description and encourage you guys to come join us. It's free. There's no charge. And here we talk about everything from the Iraqi dinar to the Vietnam dong, gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as other investment ideas and opportunities. If you have any questions, please post them in here and you will get a response. There is a lot of knowledgeable people in here, so I'm grateful for that. Anyways, I just wanted to share that there is a link and encourage you guys to come join us. It's one of the fastest growing groups out there on Facebook. So thank you. Thank you very much for that. So let's get into Vietnam. Okay, so as most of you guys know, when it comes to the Vietnam dong, it's not the same as the Iraqi dinar. What we're looking for in Vietnam is growth, expansion, getting out there more internationally, things that will strengthen the Vietnam dong over the US dollar, okay? So these are the types of articles I look for. Vietnam exports nearly 416 million masks. Of course, that's not surprising. You know what I mean? So let's see here. 1 and 19, there are, 88.19 million masks worth 344 million US dollars exported, including 51.3 million that were gifted and donated. So that's pretty good. So Vietnam exported 415.7 million masks worth $63 million and $19 from between January 1st to April 19th, according to the General Department of Customs. So we wanted to take this time to thank Vietnam because we know we were short masks here in the United States, and it looks like Vietnam was able to answer the call and send a big portion of those over to us. Come to find out, we didn't need that many, but there's nothing wrong with having them on standby. So Japan was the biggest importer of made in Vietnam face masks. In the period, they took in 32.7 million, followed by the Republic of Korea, Germany, the U.S. Okay, so respectively. So look, what we're saying is this. Thank you, Vietnam. They did a lot of great things to help people around the world. Okay, so look at this. Okay, so foreign investments inflows and mergers and acquisition plunged in the first 4 months. I love how it says plunges, because usually what happens is when you read the article, you'll find out that it didn't really plunge. So according to statistics published by the Foreign Investment Agency under the Ministry of Planning and Investments in the first 4 months, Vietnam lured in $12.33 billion from foreign financiers, equaling 84.5% of the figure from last year, in spite of the raising new registered and added capitals. Okay, so look, we're only through April, and already they're at 84.5% of the figure from last year, and this is supposed to somehow be a negative thing. I love how the article kind of makes you feel like this is bad, and then all of a sudden you read it. That's the thing about these Vietnam news sites that I find interesting. They have a habit of doing that. So notably, foreign investors poured $6.78 billion into 984 newly registered projects. Now, for those of you who are both in the Vietnam dong and the Iraqi dinars, this is the type of thing we want to see happen in Iraq. Look at this. $6.78 billion into 984 newly registered projects. So it's down 9.1% in the number of projects, but is up 26.9% in capital. A large part of this came from the U.S., $4 billion. Okay, power projected, which single-handedly raised the average projected scale from 4.9 million in 2019 to 6.9 million this year. Okay, but of course we know why. We know between the China trade agreement with the U.S., there was a China trade war. A lot of companies left China, and came into Vietnam. It's not done. It's not done by a long shot. There are a lot of peeved off companies, or countries, I should say. Germany has really been unusually aggressive towards China about what happened with the coronavirus. They have been demanding payment, and they're actually considering this some type of war reparations, which in the first time I heard, I thought was interesting. But now I see Italy and as well as Spain and the United States are all calculating up their money, but not just in Japan as well. So what this means is this: there's a lot of pissed off countries, and they're going to be taking this out on China. And what you're going to see happening is a lot of them are going to be moving their manufacturing out of China. I just read an article not that long ago that said that, a lot of countries, especially Japan, in which somewhere in the neighborhood of about 72% of their manufacturing is done in China. So when the coronavirus hit, it really affected the economy of Japan because they have so much of their manufacturing being handled in China. So they are moving it back in country, but not just in country. Believe it or not, they're moving a big portion of it into Vietnam. That's right. So look, I said this before and I said it again. Vietnam, if you could find a mutual fund, and I did find one and I shared it on my Stock Watch channel, I encourage you guys to watch it. But there is a mutual fund. As far as long-term, excuse me, coronavirus. No, I was kidding. Anyways, as far as long-term, 5, 10, 15 years down the road, Vietnam, without a doubt, is the country to invest in. There's lots of reasons why, and I cover them all the time. All right, you guys, so you can see, I love how these articles are like that. It's really weird. They do this. Foreign investment inflows for mergers and acquisitions plunged in the first 4 months. And then you go in here to read, well, did it really plunge? I mean, not really. This is expected all over the place with the coronavirus affecting countries. It will also affect Vietnam. But ironically, having said that, I showed you guys several articles over the last couple of months in which, even though the coronavirus is affecting other countries, Vietnam, in spite of it, is continuing to boom. Okay, so look, in addition to 3.07 billion in capital was added to 335 existing projects, up 45.6 on the year. So it's up 45.6% over the year. There are, look at this, furthermore, there were 3,210 mergers and acquisition deals with a total capital of 2.48 billion. It's up 32.9% in numbers, but only 34.7 of this last year's capital. Look, they're going to do good. If Vietnam looks as good now with the coronavirus, what do you think is going to happen once we get out of quarantine? I know you guys are thinking the same thing I am. It's only going to boom. Okay, so look at this. So JB Financial acquires Vietnamese brokerage firm Stanley Morgan. And that's over in Vietnam. Obviously, they're not actually acquiring Stanley Morgan. So JB Financial Group, a local banking group, has completed an acquisition of a Vietnam-based brokerage previously owned by global investment bank Morgan Stanley as part of its effort to make inroad into the Southeast Asian region. Okay, so JB Financial Group said on April 22nd it paid 19.9 billion won, or 16.1 million, for 100% stake in the Morgan Stanley Gateway Securities, a mid-sized brokerage headquarters in Hanoi, Vietnam. Vietnam. Founded in 2006. So look, there's a lot of people, there's lots of mergers and acquisitions going on in Vietnam, and I mean a lot. As a matter of fact, this company is more interested in the real estate over there because they are banking on the future developments of companies coming over there. That's why they made this acquisition. This is what they are banking on, real estate. I still think real estate is probably one of the best moves to make when it comes to Vietnam. Okay, so anyways, I thought you guys might like this one here, although this article is a couple weeks old, but look at this. Why Vietnam will rise from emerging market ashes. Okay, so look at this. There was an article similar to this that I covered not that long ago, but this one is good. I do like it. So Vietnam ETF continues its decade-long slump, I like how they said that, to fresh record lows amid economical fallout and weakening currency due to the COVID. Okay, it's again, why they do this, I don't know. They make it look like doom and gloom, but as you continue to read, you go, well, wait a minute, what the hell? Is this thing really doomy and gloomy? The Vietnam dong is expected to rebound. You like how they said it up here? It's, oh my God, it's so dread. But then it goes on here and says, the Vietnamese dong is expected to rebound strongly versus the USD this decade on growing current account surplus and FX reserves. We talked about this before. We know that eventually the power of the US dollar is going to weaken. Whenever there is a crisis like we're seeing, which is a pandemic, most countries will automatically run to the US dollar as their fallback emergency currency. They do that because they know that the US dollar is the strongest currency. But as we come out of quarantine, All right. The reality of where our economy is going to smack us in the face. So as the US dollar weakens, the Vietnamese dong will strengthen. Therefore, the rate, or I should say the value of the Vietnam dong will increase. All right, for those of you who are holding on to Vietnamese dong, of course the value will increase. Okay, so that's what this is talking about. That's what this is going over. Okay, so it just talks about what we already know. Look, a lethal combination of the viral and financial crisis has no doubt taken a heavy toll on emerging markets, which saw their export-driven economies and currencies decimated by a halted global economy and safe haven flows into the US dollar respectfully. So I told you this, every time we go into some kind of crisis, everybody turns to the US dollar. But as we come out of quarantine, that is going to change, you guys. It will change. The Vietnam dong will increase in value. Okay, and as much as the emerging markets might have all taken a hit, the one that did not is Vietnam. So as these people continue to recoup coming out of what we're seeing is the quarantine, what's that mean about Vietnam? That means their currency is only going to get stronger, considering even in the midst of COVID-19, they still did very, 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 very good their first quarter of 2020. So I'm anticipating over the next 3 months, just watch them closely because I anticipate the value of the Vietnam dong to go up. Not to mention that we've gotten word that on May 7th, the Vietnam dong currency will change. Let's cross our fingers and hope that is realistic, okay? But there's, the more you look at what's going on, the more we know this. Keep this in mind. Vietnam last May was on our list of currency manipulators. Trump warned them. If you're on the list your first time, you're automatically on it a second time. There are 3 criteria that put them on the list. Vietnam was the only country out of all the countries on the list that was violating all 3 criteria, making them a heavy currency manipulator. The next time it comes out in November, and when it came out, Vietnam was only violating one of the 3 criterias, meaning they were on their way of behaving themselves and getting taken off of the list, except for one thing happened. Not even a month later, they were now violating 2 of the 3 criterias again. So we know May is coming up. Vietnam does not want to be on the list a third time. They're going to have to do something about their currency in order to avoid being on there and then facing the wrath of Trump, who might be a little mercy, might give a little mercy due to the fact that coronavirus is here, but I doubt it. Okay, so you don't want to be on that currency manipulation list. As you guys all know, there ends up being new tariffs as well as sanctions. There will be punishment if these people don't do something with their currency. So again, we're in that special month. We're in that special month that we all need to be keeping an eye on, which is when a new currency manipulation list comes out. Let's see where Vietnam falls on that list, not to mention the fact that we were told on May the 7th, the Vietnam dong is supposed to change its rate. Will it? I hope so. All right, you guys, so let's keep an eye on that, all right? Anyways, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber already, and please leave a comment. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. Thank you. Bye.